All right.
Or are you really just doing it to motivate the Friendswood girls?
And that might be the case.
Come on. Lady Mustangs, that's what he's doing. He's just doing that to get y'all's goat a little bit. Get y'all to get back up there.
Friendswood lost one of their backup post players, Lindsay Landers, tore her ACL. So, I mean, that's a big loss. Kelsey Koffold, who's only a sophomore, is doing a great job this season. And, I mean, Annalisa is one of the top players in Galveston County without a doubt. But like I said, I've been toying for a few weeks as far as, I mean, are they really better than Creek? And I still don't know that answer, but I think Springs proved they were better than Creek last night. That's the second time they've beaten them. And I just think the way Springs is playing right now, they kind of showed me that, I think if they played tonight, that Springs would win.
Sounds like we need to get the Creek girls and the Friendswood girls just to show up at a court somewhere on Saturday and play to figure this out, right?
Yeah, that would make the Power Poll much easier for me to figure out on a weekly basis.
The coaches are nice. Maybe they'll help us out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It would be great to watch it on this blog, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just the Texas City choice. I'm just not so sure they even should be that high out there. One of the things, and I know injury bugs really gotten them big time, but I almost think they have to be almost further down in the.
Well, I mean, they've beaten Santa Fe twice, so they have to be ahead of Santa Fe. And then Ball High, I mean, they have 2 district wins this year. They're both against Alvin, who's winless, and really they haven't been competitive against anyone else in that district. And so it's really tough for me to even say, man, could they beat Texas City at this point? I think they have a little more athletes than Texas City, and they definitely have more height. But I mean, it's a big rebuilding project,
and it may just show the weakness of the district.
Right, absolutely.
That's coming out there.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, you mentioned Annalisa Hall, is one of the top players in the county. Who else is in that list, and who would you name as the best player in the county?
Well, there's a few girls. Malika Lowe Drake last night. She's a sophomore guard for Clear Springs. She's definitely a Division I player. Still working on her jump shot, but she's got a pretty jumper from inside 3-point range, and she really knows how to drive to the basket. Last night she was using the pro hop a lot in her game, and that was pretty impressive. Chelsea Salonica didn't have a great game last night for Clear Creek, but that was the first time I've really seen her off. I like to compare that girl. She's almost like a Terminator in the fact she has no emotion out there on the floor, and she just always seems to have just a drive to really play pressure defense and make all the cold-blooded shots that she needs to win. I've been really impressed with her. And then Annalisa, fantastic player. There's only been one game where I've seen her really show off that she had a jump shot. The rest of the time, it's mostly her points are driving to the basket, but she is the most creative scorer down low. I think a lot of that has to do with her soccer skills. But if I had to choose one player, it would be Marissa Ashton. And I know Dickinson girls haven't had the great season, but, I mean, you just watch this girl on the court, and she's by far the most talented player in Galveston County. I mean, she's really fun to watch. And, I mean, she's still getting 18 points, 10 rebounds, and she's really being double and triple teamed even whenever she touches the ball. I mean, everybody's right on her. But she's really fun to watch, and if I had to select one player to build my team around, it would be Marissa Ashton.
Okay.
Wonder though, too, when talking about Dickinson, how much is their play right now you think affected by the hangover from the whole coaching controversy from last year?
I don't think so. I mean, I thought Wendy Tucker was the correct decision if they wanted to keep any momentum from that program because she had been learning from Darren Samuels for 4 years. I think it's just a matter of we got spoiled by the Dickinson team, and it really became clear to me the other night when I was at the Dickinson Clear Creek game, and there was another reporter. I'll protect his name because I don't want to embarrass him. Let's just say it starts with J and ends with Ames Fremont. But he looked at me, and Creek's up by about 20 points over Dickinson at this point, and he looks at me and he goes, "Is Creek always this bad?" And I was like, "They're up by 20 points. They're playing great defense. They're hitting some big shots." Well, I'm just saying they haven't been making all their threes and whatnot. And at that point, it really was like, man, we have really been spoiled by how good that Dickinson Lady Gators team. I mean, that was you don't want to say it's a once in a generation type team, but I mean, you look at Morgan Williams, Miranda Hippolyte are both getting significant playing time for D1 programs. Marissa's going to do the same next year. They had a coach who really was a perfect fit for them because he knew how talented they were, and he liked to show it off too.
Right.
And I think that's kind of the hangup, right? All this season, I keep waiting for that one team to really blow me away like Dickinson did, and after a few weeks, I just kind of decided, you know what, it's not going to happen because there is no Dickinson team. That's not saying that Creek and Springs and Friendswood and Lamarck aren't good because they're all solid girls basketball teams, but the Dickinson Lady Gators were just unbelievable. I don't know about you. I mean, you saw a lot of Dickinson last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to come up with a team that was that dominant at this level. I mean, what did we decide? Heading into the state final, their only losses were to
Top 10 teams ranked in 5A.
Well, yeah, it was the two teams that played for the Class 5A state championship last year. And, you know, with 45 seconds to go, that game was Dickinson's, the state title game against Dallas Lincoln, and then a couple uncharacteristic turnovers. I mean, you're talking about a team that goes to the state finals one year, and then the same point the next year, and really they should have won the game.
Yeah, that still stuns me that they lost that game.
It's going to be hard for a team to be that dominant again soon, because I mean you need almost the perfect potion, I guess you could say.
And that's why I asked. I didn't know because there was some, not all, but there was some of that nucleus that still carried over, and you're like, okay, you know, why didn't the younger players carry that over?
Right.
That's why I wonder if some of it is a hangover.
Well, I mean, it's unfair to sit there and say that these younger girls can do what those girls that graduate from Dickinson, what they accomplish, because it's unfair to them. I mean, right now they're not as talented. That's not saying that they can't eventually get to that level, but I mean, it's going to be really tough. I mean, to play as well as those Dickinson girls did.